Some people even think the most important thing in life is money. But in actuality, you guys couldn't be further from the truth.
Hey, first things first, when I pop, I'ma get your hoe thirsty. I sign my paycheck in cursive, unworthy. Hoes in a VIP, always talking about my fashion. I tell her watch her tone, baby Keen ain't no virgin.
What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Zay back with another video. Today what we're talking about is the most important thing in life. Alright, I know most people may have their own perception as to what the most important thing in life is. Often people think this thing is love or loyalty or honesty. Some people even think the most important thing in life is money. But in actuality, you guys couldn't be further from the truth. The most important thing in life and in this entire universe is communication. Because if you think about it, without communication, love does not exist, loyalty does not exist, honesty does not exist, and money definitely does not exist. Communication is the root of everything. Now, to break this down, we're going to start off with a simple explanation here. Imagine if you had like a set of 10 dots, and all 10 of those dots can't move, they can't see, and they can't hear. They just sit there and never move. That itself is non-existence. Think about it. If you never drive to the store, do you get to the store? If the battery never puts electricity to turn on the light, does the light ever turn on? When something does not move, when things stop moving, they don't exist. So communication is that action of moving. Communication is putting things into action. When you speak to somebody, you're communicating by making words, and then they, in fact, take them in to understand them. When you are running, you are communicating with the earth that you are in motion. You are not going to stay in the same place, communicating with the earth that you will be somewhere else. Every single part of our lives, let's think about it. These headphones, what do these headsets do? They do a couple of things. You see I have a mic here. What do these headsets do? These headsets communicate with what? Me. They communicate what's going on in the game, what's going on my computer through these headphones and this wire to communicate with me what I'm hearing, what sounds are coming in, what songs I'm listening to, what gameplay I'm listening to. Now when you look at this mic, what am I able to do? I'm able to give words, sounds that are now communicated back into my device and sent for other people to listen and understand what I'm saying. Every single part of our life is based around communication. Without communication / movement, nothing ever exists. If everything in our universe ceased to move, nothing would exist. Nothing can be created without movement. Nothing can be destroyed without movement. Nothing exists without movement. If you think about the word communication versus movement, then you could apply it to any facet of your life. Think about it like this. If I decide to communicate better at work with my manager, my coworkers, and with my job by working hard, that's how you can communicate with your job, by working hard. Then I'm communicating that I want to keep my job. I want to excel at my job. I want to grow in my job because I'm communicating the correct way. Now if you go the opposite way and I communicate with my job by having an attitude with my manager, being rude to my coworkers, coming home and talking crap about my job and slacking off at work, I'm going to lose that job because I'm communicating with my job that I no longer want it by my actions, by my behaviors. The reason why this is so powerful is because when you apply this to the things that you want, they begin to manifest itself. And that's why people go so crazy over the law of attraction, because the law of attraction is simply stating that by communicating with what you want, it will appear. So for example, I want to do YouTube. I want to communicate with everybody my thoughts. I want to grow. I want to have something I can share and give to others. The way that I do that is by uploading a video every single day, sitting here and editing every single day. That's how I communicate with my goals that I really wanted. It's all based around work, but work itself is communication with what does not exist yet. Because you can literally communicate with everything, even if it's not currently present. You can communicate with the future. You can also communicate with the past. Communication doesn't have a time boundary. You can communicate with everything and anything whenever you want. And that's why communication is the most important thing in life, and understanding that will take you so far. You can communicate with goals that you plan to reach before you've reached them. Your actions, the things that you're doing, is moving you towards the thing that does not exist yet. But if you decide to stay stagnant, you go nowhere. Nothing exists. Do you see the correlation? When you decide to stop moving, when you decide to stop working, when you decide to stop communicating, nothing happens. So your goals don't manifest. The things you want don't come because you're not putting the correct communication out into the universe. You have to communicate with whatever it is. It can be an inanimate object. You can communicate with that thing before you take possession that you want it by doing the actions that take place to get it, putting the work in that it takes to have it. Communicating is the most powerful thing in the universe. It's the base of everything. Not everything is based on atoms. You know what atoms and what particles are based off of? Communication. How do particles join together to create something? By what? Touching. How are they touching? By moving towards each other. By moving in a direction and then hitting each other, bouncing off, or becoming one. So when particles decide to bounce off, boom, they communicated that boom, they're not the right match, and now they're going to bounce into something else. When particles hit each other and they decide to stick, that's a good combination. Now they're communicating that they're trying to build something. Particles are the foundation of everything. Atoms are the foundation of everything, and everything is moving. In the air, there's particles, and they're always hitting each other, bouncing off, bouncing off, bouncing off. You know? And that's how our universe was structured. If nothing exists but particles, little dots exist, and they're not moving, this universe would never exist. It would just be dots separated from each other and never noticing that they're next to each other. These dots will never ever communicate because they will never touch each other. Nothing exists. They don't move. They don't have thought or consciousness to do anything. They just sit there. Nothing exists. What is our biggest communicator in our solar system? Our sun. How? Our sun is communicating with all of these planets with its mass that it is so big, its presence is so big, it creates movement. And before the sun, particles and small atoms that were floating in space were moving, which collide and create a sun after a while, which collide and get big and create a sun. So eventually there has to be a source of movement. But regardless of the fact is, movement itself is communication. And the more you move, the more you take action, the more you communicate, the more you can create. That's the only way things are created. Things cannot be created if you're sitting still. It's impossible. If you don't draw, there's no drawing. If you don't shoot a video, there's no video. If you don't type, there's no words. Those are the easiest ways to explain how important communication is with this universe. You can also communicate the wrong way, as I explained earlier. When you communicate the wrong way for things that you do want, then the opposite happens because you're communicating to then have something that you don't want. I say I want to do YouTube, and what I actually do is I come home and I play the game all day. And what I actually do is I come home and I watch YouTube videos all day. What am I communicating with the universe? I'm communicating with the universe that I want to be a gamer. I'm communicating with the universe that I like watching YouTube videos. I want to watch YouTube videos. It's about finding the right way, and we all know the right way to communicate for the things we want. We just get tired, we get lazy, we get complacent, and we stop communicating because we're so tired. We want to chill, we want to be stagnant, we don't want to move because we're exhausted, which means we're not communicating with our goals that we want them. The people that have the biggest lives, the people that are the top 10% of people that get to where they really want to go in their life, communicated with their dreams more than anyone else did. Communication is the single-handed most powerful thing in this entire universe. It's the structure of this entire universe. And once you get really accustomed and you realize how to manipulate that understanding to your benefit, you can create anything you want for yourself. Communication and movement elicit presence. Without movement or communication, nothing exists, right? Without movement, you're not present. You get it? You're stuck in a time that's already happened. You're stuck in a time that doesn't exist yet. You aren't present. Through movement, you become present because you're moving. The minute you stop, you're not moving. You can't be present. You're either in the past or you're in the future, but you're not present. So the key to also happiness and the key to getting rid of your depression or just anxiety is being more present. And how do you be more present? By communicating more. And what does every single scientist say about humans? We are very social beings. We are the beings of our universe. All we have and all we want to actually do, despite what we think, is to communicate. All we look for is relationships. All we look for is work. All we look for is hustle. We love to socialize. We love to communicate. And the more you communicate with what you want, the happier you will be, the more successful you will be. As long as you communicate with the things you want in your life, you will have everything you want. You will be as happy because you're present all the time, working towards the goal that you want, which fulfills you, which lets you know that you're doing what you like. It fulfills you when you're present, when you're communicating with your goals and with what you want in your life. You will also gain success because you're communicating with the universe and with yourself to give you that success through your hard work, through your action, through your persistence. But with that being said, I hope you guys liked the video. If you did, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and turn on post notifications to see more of your boy. And with that being said, you will see your boy later.
Pull up on the block on the street, KKK on my feet. That nigga bring he ain't eating in weeks. That boy eating his feet. Right now, that boy having that feast. Can't eat bon appetit. Cook up, show for your D. I turn up the one and be like a leaf. It's a new year, but I'm making a leap.